Off the stream. Put you guys on mute.
Go.
Well, good evening, darts fans, and welcome to the Keflavik Darts Club here in Iceland for the latest series of Darts Iceland events. My name is Tom Beresford. I'll be talking you through the action here with Robbie Dove very soon on the commentary for our first match. And the format through the competition is best of 5 legs, which will then move up to the best of 7 legs in the final. Robbie, how do you see this first one going? It's certainly going to be an interesting evening of darts.
It is. Hello, welcome to the stream. Always a pleasure to have a bit of new blood injected into live Darts Iceland. I'm looking forward to it. I do enjoy my Icelandic darts. I'm seeing some of the averages rising over the past couple of weeks. One to watch for the tournament. I'm going Vito.
Yeah, he's got the one of the best moustaches I've certainly ever seen in the darts scene. It's certainly got a few people talking on social media, etc.
That's right. Yeah, he's one of the more popular people. Matty as well. He always gets comments on his stance on his throw. But all of the dart players that we see, they're all pretty good standard. They all know what they're doing, and it's always very close, which is what I like. There's never sort of an over. I guess there's no Michael Van Gogh of Icelandic darts, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, in the event last week, Matty played some brilliant darts. He hit a 14 dart leg in there as he reached the final, as he lost out to Kjartan Sveinsson in the final, and his stance and his form is certainly a lot to be admired.
It is. He's steady. He doesn't sway too often to the left and to the right, which is is always good. Great shoulder action, decent stance. What more can you say? Pretty solid, and he does what he tells me. He does want to take darts sort of as a serious full-time hobby after his football career is up. So watch this space is all I've got to say. Grindavik player at the moment. He had to take a bit of time out last season due to injury, but seems to be back now very nicely. So. Hey, what do you think?
I think, as you say, the averages are on the up. I mean, I think the next country really to go on the up in Scandinavian darts is probably Iceland, because you've seen Denmark has had the PDC event recently. We've got the Swedish Open. We've got but Iceland. The standard is creeping up there. I see Matty had a 77 average last week, so the standard is there.
It certainly is, and yeah, as you say, Iceland, the last sort of country. We've got Finnish players in Kim Viljanen et al. We've got the Swedes, the Magnus Carlsens, the Larsens of the like. Norway, we have the Copenhagen, the Euro Tour into Copenhagen. So Iceland, I make it kind of the last nation standing. Now, the fact that the PTC is going to Reykjavik in October, I'm hoping to get it myself, which is very, very exciting indeed. But the fact that it is going over to Reykjavik suggests something. These are working, these streams are working, and people are going to start to see what Iceland has to offer. The next step, maybe not the next step, but what they'd like is a slot somewhere. The PTC World Cup of Darts, Latvia got a slot, Switzerland got a slot, so you never know. I think it's very doable in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and obviously Latvia have got Badars Razmir, who's certainly coming on leaps and bounds down the PDC.
Yeah, absolutely. He showed everyone, what he could do in the BDO. So you always knew he was going to be there or thereabouts. Sets a trend for BDO players in the PDC, which kind of, does insinuate the quality of PDC. I think, watch Razmir the next couple of years. See him on the European tour. Makes well. I think he's going to do pretty well. And exciting news, whilst we're on the topic of, different players, my question to you is, what do you think about the, I think, is it 96 players starting in the PDC World Championship?
Yeah, it's a great extension by the PDC. We've got more places to play for in the Pro Tour. The merit for the players that probably you won't be seen on TV before, who are applying their trade on the Pro Tour. They've also got other nations as well. I think they've given 3 places to the USA now, which we've never seen before. There's a tour in America which I cover called the CDC, so it's like a tour event in America. They're giving a place to the top-ranked American, a place to the top-ranked Canadian, and then the North American Championship. You might have seen it a few weeks ago on ITV, the US Masters. The winner of that, which was Jeff Smith, he got the place for that one.
Absolutely. I was lucky enough to be there. I got a lovely interview with DJ Sayer in Las Vegas. For those of you interested, go to iTunes, type in Live Darts Iceland, all one word, or have a look on the YouTube channel as well. Yes, and he was telling me, he plays in the CDC and he enjoys. He said totally different to any from the PDC and Scotland in regards to the crowd. Good fun. But yeah, I'd imagine Dawson Marshall and the Canadian in front. He's probably gonna, well, probably, but you dare say he's gonna show up. But he may show up. He's got to talk about, hasn't he, Dawson?
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well. He plays the development tour as well. He's actually just moved over to the UK in St Helens, so what a place to live if you're gonna be a darts player.
Absolutely. Michael Smiths and Chizzies of this world, now the Dawson Marshall. And Stephen Bunting, of course, and now Dawson Marshall indeed. So that's good. And I think the next 6 players allow for Madders Razvan possibly to show in the World Championship. But also, one I was thinking of, who I'm sure when you get a chance to have a word with Christopher, who's the commentator, a couple of technical issues at the moment, but he'll be on for the next game, we hope. He's a big fan of Paul Nicholson, who had a lovely run a couple of weeks ago on the Euro Tour. And at the moment, he'd be in as well. And it would be lovely to have someone like him back.
Yeah, I think it's good how he's a pundit as well as a player as well. He knows the game inside out. His mental part of the game is probably his strongest part at the moment, because even though he's not producing the world-class darts that you maybe expect to see the top averages, he's there or thereabouts. When he gets a chance, he seems to take it.
Does indeed, and his chance was taken when he was at the European semi-finalist in the Euro, something like that. Yeah. So I did enjoy that. Christopher, I'm sure, was over the moon. Was devastated when he got dumped out of the semi-final. But yeah, now Wayne Mardle has come forward and said was it Wayne Mardle or was it Chris Mason? You'll be able to know because you know Chris Mason quite well. One of the two, I think it might have been Mardle, said that excuse me, they think the World Championship was best at 32 players. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was 32 players, but the sport wasn't at the level it sort of is now. There was different permutations of qualification. Yeah and no. I do like the fact that different countries are able to bring their best players over and have a crack, because each of you got 3 darts in your hand. Anyone can beat anyone on the given day. Look at Jeffrey Desvan this past week on
Jeffrey.
He started off in the World Youth Masters and sort of got his tour card, lost it. He got it back again this year in January. He's been to 2 Pro Tour finals, actually lost to Gary Anderson on both of them. But like Anderson was saying this week, that he absolutely hammered him in those finals. I think it was 6-6. So Anderson was saying what he was turned into this week with the picture of Vancouver must have really given him so much confidence on the stage.
Absolutely. It's not the first time he's beaten him either, is it?
No, he opened in Minehead, which was behind closed doors because of the snow at the buttons. Sort of, there was a lot of players and guests in the venue, but no spectators were allowed, which is a shame. But nevertheless, it's still a victory over the world number 1. I think it was 10-8 on that occasion, or 10-6. And then he did him 10-6 at the match play, so it's not a fluke. I
must say, I loved that. I mean, UK Open's always been my favourite tournament, but I loved it behind closed doors. It was like it was a major with a Pro Tour feel.
It's one of my favourite events. I come from Bolton. I remember the UK Open used to be there, the Reebok.
Don't even get me started. That was the best of the best. When it was in Bolton, it couldn't have been any better.
Because as you're looking at the TV stage, you've got the main 2 boards, and then behind you, you've got literally all the outside boards in view, and it was brilliant because you could just walk over to each board, have a look at whichever games you like, and it was very, very good.
Did you ever go to the UK Open when it was in Bolton?
Yeah, I went almost every year. It was at the time when I first started watching darts, probably early 2000s. It was it wasn't nowhere near as big as the sport it is now. I think it's something ridiculous like £8 to get in.
Wow.
For each day, and it wasn't nowhere near the sport it is now. Remember the match play when I first started going to the match play? There was no just evening sessions. It was all day, every day as well. You had afternoon sessions through the week, like the likes of Dead Substitute, Roman Shaw, Lloyd was going number 1 at the time, and it was great fun to watch.
Yeah, that was my dream to go to the UK Open in Bolton. You never know, never say never. But with the expansion of the PDC, it's not exactly getting smaller, is it? So they probably did eventually need a slightly bigger auditorium. I went to, what one did I go to in the Players' Championship? That was mine. I played for the first time a couple of years ago, two dartboards. And big stadium. I think they play more darts matches at in Minehead than any other tournament, even the World Championship. Not so sure if that's going to be the case now with the 96 starters, but it's always taken that claim to fame so far. And Dan Dawson's always said it's the home of world dart.
Yeah, it's Minehead really. You've got the Players' Championship finals there. You've got the UK Open there. They do seem to do some good packages as well for the spectators. Sort of, you get like a chalet for the weekend, you get your event tickets. It's all in one package, and it's a really fun weekend to be at as well, because you see some players that you maybe wouldn't see on the television all the time. Like Paul Hogan always seems to do well at the UK Open, has done for the past 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
he usually qualifies through the Rileys, I believe. And I think I was looking at a stat, I can't exactly remember, I'm sure I'll find it. It's not like every single time he's won, maybe except for once, he's won through, and he's won a couple of good games on the big stage as well. Hogan really is one of my favourite players, to be completely honest. I love him. He does the same thing every year. And interesting, talking of Paul Hogan, when he played Gary Anderson and beat Gary Anderson, do you remember that bullseye that didn't hit the wire? It hit the middle of the bullseye, but it bounced out. It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I was actually reminded of that, because if you watch the darts of the weekend when it had the 1-2-1 on the bull and it bounced out, that sort of reminded me straight away of the Paul Hogan, but that did cost him the match.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what I was about to say. The first thing that went into my mind was, oh my God, that same thing. And it was a match start as well last time, wasn't it? Wasn't as costly this time, but that match, you've got to give it to both players. Anderson versus Suljevic. It was in the World Match Play. If you're not a regular darts watcher or you don't know what happened, just go to YouTube, type in Gary Anderson, Suljevic, S-U-L-O-V. Oh, I'm not good at spelling. OVIC, something. Have a look. It was a fantastic game. Our heart was in the mouth the whole time. Any player could have won. Two men put on excellent entertainment. And time someone says to you, darts ain't a sport, just put them in the picture of that.
Yeah, there was a lot of crucial moments in that game. I think Suljevic went 8-7 up at the break, then he went 9-7 up. He kept leaving his reliable double 14, but it didn't really work out for him. He struggled on the doubles after that, and Anderson, being Anderson, didn't miss.
I do wonder what would happen if Anderson wasn't in it. If Anderson got dumped out by Joe Cullen, which was a big possibility. What do you think would happen? I reckon Suljevic would have won. I would love to see Suljevic win a major. He's won the Champions League. Do I count that as a major? Personally, no, because it's not ranking. For me, a major has to be ranking, but everyone's got their own opinion on that.
I think like Gary Anderson alluded to before their semi-final match with Jeffrey Zvan, he actually turned around and said that Zvan was the best player of the week, which...
Þið skellir bara á nafnið. Það takki sem heitir coin toss. Og sem sagt, þú velur bara heads and tails. Well,
I've been given the information that Hallie versus Peter, two of the big regulars, gracing the stage first, coming through live broadcast.
Yeah, it should be a great start to this evening of darts. It should be a close contest, this one.
It should be. I'm going to go with Peter, the father, the left-hander. Nice action and pretty consistent, playing nice darts at the moment. But he goes around and about, and he's a very difficult opponent to dispose of, his Hallie. So see how this one goes. We are coming to you from Dart Connect. Well, not from Dart Connect. using the Dart Connect system. You may have, if you're a PDC fan at the Pro Tour, they've been starting to use that on the Pro Tournaments as well. I think it's a fantastic little tool. Really gives you an idea as to what averages the different players are getting, what skills the different players are getting, how consistent they are. Information where you can follow the darts.
And of course, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope for bringing you this action.
So there's really no excuse for you. You're not got to watch. The excuse that my laptop is broken. Yes, well, you can pop it on the Periscope. So, tell me, how do you get into Icelandic darts? How did you find out that it exists in Iceland?
I've actually watched a few events. We've been on during the week, and there's not much darts televised. I sort of seen the link, looked over YouTube, and it's darts. I think that darts is darts. Everyone enjoys watching some form of darts, whatever standard it is, whatever code it is. Everybody enjoys watching darts.
They do. It's not the second most watched sport on British television for no reason. So, I guess you just got in touch and said, "Hey, let me get involved," and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I actually got a message on social media asking if I'd like to get involved, and I sort of jumped to the opportunity.
Oh, even better. But don't be too good, Tom, because, you know, I want a job for a while.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this game. I've seen Hallie play quite a lot on the streams over the past few weeks, and Peter as well. They've both been playing well, some good averages, and they've both got good actions, really. A nice straight throw there from Peter. He's a good player to watch.
Well, if you go on to Dart Connect TV, just give it a quick Google. That's the system that we use, especially at the end of the game, which will be helpful.
Yes, and I believe Peter will throw first after winning the bullseye as well in this one.
The code, if you do want to follow the action, I mean, obviously you're watching it here now, but if you want to see some stats, T250. It will ask you if you've got a DCTV code. Press yes, T250. It's Peter to throw. It's best of 5 legs, as Raspberry would say. Game on.
81.
Nice 81 there to kick things off.
Person where if it kicks 2 darts in a sink, third dart will go into the
57.
I do actually like the way that Hallie's darts dip down as well. It's a very good thing if you just go just above the treble 20, the next one will just slip down into the treble.
60.
Nice solid 60 there.
See, from this angle,
60.
looking at that first dart, it doesn't look like, you question how much room he's actually got to aim at the treble, but he's staying at it. So I think what you're saying about the darts dipping is actually true, and he probably has a lot more room than it actually looks to find the treble base.
It's going to become more difficult when the darts go below the treble. It's sort of blocking the bed off, but once you go above the treble 20, they're just going to dip down and slip into the treble 20. There you go, perfect.
He'd really like to
100.
going to say you'd bet your bottom dollar he'd possibly find another one. It hasn't done so, but I don't think he'll be disappointed with a ton.
He's definitely got himself back in this leg now after being behind.
41.
He's really stole the darts here, especially that treble 20 straight in.
Yeah, if you can find another one here, this is going to be
81.
Oh, just a slip there into the 81.
Yeah, great first start. He would have met a lot. He would have landed 140. A ton would have been all right. But no guarantee that Peter will be down to a finish. You need a couple of trebles, not going to find them. So time on the side.
85.
of Hallie.
A great last start there to keep in touch in this first leg. Now see there, he's had to switch down because the first start is below the treble, so it sort of blocked the bed off.
Indeed. He is down to a finish first, but Peter could possibly steal back his throw. Just one treble will do, 2 would be ideal. And relying on Hallie, obviously not checking the 146. I think he's going to have to switch now.
44 scores. Not on a finish, I'm afraid, after that visit. Oh, it's already 154, yeah. You want 146 here to take this first leg? If you find this first treble, he's in with a shot.
We'll be checking out now. 154, always an interesting visit.
57.
Now that I'm very surprised he went for the 19s there, because the way he was hitting the treble 20s in the start of the leg, I'm surprised he switched down.
He's got his own way as Halley. And when I commentated a couple of weeks ago, I'll tell you what happened after. We have a look at this 89 attempt.
Must treble 18 here, should do.
And a lovely treble.
Double 16, take the leg. Oh, just inside.
73.
I reckon Peter does get himself a shot at double here. Treble 19 should be the first target. Oh, beautiful. Have a look at that. Double top.
Just inside.
Top. Does anyone want this leg? Not quite ready to bust it.
Oh, a second bite of the cherry here. Just double 10 to hold throw and take this first leg.
The whole is like the biggest steal of them all. Left hander likes double 10. It won't be able to hit with the next ball. Pressure.
15.
Oh.
Well, double 8. Halley likes double 8. He's told me himself. Don't mind double 4.
Come on.
Needs to hit it.
12.
Oh, and
In a minute, I'm going to go and have some dinner. And by the time I come back, someone may hit this winning double. And it's only the first leg.
double 1 here, double 2. Take the first leg. Game shot.
Game
Hold
shot.
the
And
there.
you think that was a match dart? No, that was a dart for the first leg. It was a hold. And Halley's throw.
Halley's throw.
See, what
Yeah,
else?
we're never short of drama in these live streams, are we?
Never short of drama at all. In fact, I actually asked you to have a long first
45.
leg. Averages of 52 and 55 in the first leg. In the first leg, just to make things interesting. What I was saying about Halley in double 8 is that he was on 52 last week. So, what would you think? 52? 12 for tops? No. He actually got treble 12 for double 8. And I, on the stream, didn't quite realise. So I said, oh, is it the treble? That's not a bad miss. You know, I get a message from Halley a couple of days later saying, hi, Robbie, just to let you know, I love double 8. So if ever I'm on 52, I will aim for the treble. I don't think it's a bad shot to go for. Really, the danger is swifting away into the treble 5 or the treble 9. But I think if you do hit the treble, you're more likely to hit the single. And dart tops, thank you very much. I'll take that. 2 darts tops.
Yeah, it's sort of a nice cover shot because you do aim for the treble, but even if you do hit the single, you're going to get a dart tops in it, so it's a win-win situation, really. At least he knows if he slips into the treble 12, he knows straight away it's double 8. It's a nice cushion to have.
And on that point, I do actually need to say, a couple of weeks ago, when I said he missed the single 12, he didn't miss the single 12. He loves treble 12 and double 8, and that's exactly what he got.
And he started off this the second leg very well with a big difference here in the scores.
60.
As yet to hit a treble is Mr. Goodmanson.
Just one over the top of that one will do nicely.
60.
Wasn't the worst adjustment I've ever seen. That second dart may have thrown her off a little. 7, all right. And Peter is first away.
Just one treble should get him back in this leg.
60.
And I think that is proof that every treble counts. Unless you need 61, you hit treble 20. Every treble. Especially at this sort of standard. We may see a treble 19 here.
79.
An unexpected double top there.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. I'm sure he didn't mean to, but better than a single 20.
45.
And we should see Halley down to something a little bit more tasteful than 198 after these 3 darts. Would love a treble. Well, that's a slip.
44.
He's down to a finish, but not an ideal one.
A 99 would be nicer. Minimum.
Tops. Just to leave 170. Or not.
94.
Last dart. Lying well. I think treble 20, treble 18 is the sensible option for Halley. Very good treble 20 hitter.
58.
Can he put some pressure on?
Yes is the answer.
Leaves himself 80.
It's a treble.
Nice lie. Oh, it's unlucky there.
Yeah.
72.
They did use the last darts.
Nice last start there. So then 80 to double his lead.
He's a good tops hitter, is Peter.
60.
Ooh,
I
just underneath.
thought that was in. Double 12 then. Vita's favourite double, incidentally.
12.
Another chance passes him by, and he wants double 10 here to double his lead.
No. We have seen some nice, mid-leg play, but finishing needs to improve. Double 6, not a bad marker. Move in a bit. Oh, not that much. 3, not a nice double.
9.
2 10s for the second leg.
Leg shot.
Yes. 2-0 lead.
2-0 lead, and it could really be 2-0 the other way, couldn't it?
Doubles, it's all it's down to. The mid leg scoring is very similar from the play. It just shows how crucial these trebles are, because throughout the most that leg he was sort of 100 behind, then he hit the treble 20, hit the 94, and then he was straight back in the leg.
Absolutely, and quite a something that's quite quintessential to doubles meaning everything is that when the World Cup was in Osaka, Japan, I went over to Iceland about September-ish, just before the World Cup, the WDF World Cup, and Alex Johansson was playing for Iceland. So we had a bit of a match, and I am a lousy. Lovely ton 40, by the way.
Super.
Thanks, Halley, for ruining my story midway through. Cut a long story short, I'm a lousy darts player. Alex Johansson, very good darts player. I was about 1 dart behind him in the end because it was all down to the doubles. And he ended up hitting a winning double where I couldn't. But it just goes to show it's not all about the in play. If you're a PDC professional, you've got, you get yourself down to a double after 14, 15 darts.
41.
You're going to win legs more times than not.
I think with the way that Eggleson's darts are going in the board, I think that gives him sort of advantage with the scoring, because he gives himself so much room. If he gets it above that treble 20, it's a very, very good lie for to fill the bed up. Like he kicks off with that 140 there, that was brilliant. But consistency is key here. I mean, he's kicked off the 140 and he's only just in front in this one. Superb stuff. Gets him right back into this leg. Even Stevens, it's anybody's like this one in the scoring.
Wow, that's a lovely first dart. You can find another. It's well in for 3-0.
99.
Even 99 isn't terrible.
Nice for start. Oof.
85.
Decent visit there. 85 gets him. Still anybody's like this really. Can he fire this 118 though to see off the match?
It's a treble 20. He's good at that. He's good at when he hits the first dart in the single 18. I find a lot of the time he will fire in. Treble.
151, a massive ask.
150 in through 2 darts, not going.
66.
Nice last dart to keep him in touch.
Just that bit of it. No one can miss 2 darts. In hand.
50.
And no, once again, troubling.
Trouble 15 here. No. Double 14. Oh, what a finish. Great finish there. 85.
And so works out for him.
Reduce the deficit to 2-1.
Puts him right back in this game, reduce the arrears by half.
That's an unfortunate 60. It's a good lie on them. All 3 of them darts were through brilliantly.
This is a best of 5 leg scenario, after which I will go through a couple of statistics with you. Doubling will be very interesting. How many darts missed a double? Numerous.
100.
A nice solid ton there to get himself in front in this leg.
And Halley does look set to win this leg, taking us into a deciding leg. Early days yet, especially without Visit, because now Peter is ahead by 21, but that's all about to change.
I think this game is really hotting up now. It's starting to both play scoring better, as you can see here. Can he get a 140?
100.
A nice ton.
Stay in contention, he'll need another treble 20. A couple in this leg already.
41.
And that's a slip, and that could be what Talent's looking for this match.
I'd say he needs at least a ton here to put the pressure on.
259, so whatever he throws will not be checking out with the next 3 darts.
41.
Has breathing space.
Halley could really set this up here with a decent visit here.
1 treble is fine, 2 trebles is ideal. Treble as well, even 1 double time.
Nice for 13s here.
100.
States there. 98 left. Good visit.
Yeah, he liked the line there, so it's a decent visit. Right, Peter, what have you got for us then? Treble 20.
43.
98. Boy. Now he should switch to 18s. Ooh, 74 left. A beautiful last start to leave double 16.
66.
That was a good visit, that one. Just what he needed at the right time. All Peter can do, which seems to be my catchphrase these days. That's a lovely first one. A lovely second.
133.
Superb darts to put the pressure on.
Peter does it right at the death, right when he needs to. There is no guarantee. No.
25 left.
Eight,
Double
one
eight.
dot and
Yes, two apiece. We have a deciding leg, guys. This
That's
game's really hotting up, Robbie.
that's actually how I prefer to take first as well. 7, 9, double 8. The only difference between these two now is Peter, who is throwing first, who would argue that he should have won this game a couple of legs ago. I'm sure Halle would say the same thing. So I'd say 2-all is about fair. Would you say that?
Yeah, so they both scored well. They both struggled on the doubles, like you said earlier. It could be any score now, really. But this, especially the last two legs, the standard of the scoring, and they both finished straight away normally. And the last two legs that Halle's won, he's finished more or less within 6 darts.
For anyone who's just joined us, hello. We are in a fantastic leg, exciting leg. Keflavik, live darts Iceland, joined by Tom Beresford, professional darts journalist. Pleasure to have you aboard. Christopher is somewhere. I'm Robbie Dove. Guy is Halle Isles.
Peter could really steal the advantage here with a good score.
Whoever, I get the impression whoever can hit the treble first.
There's just over 100 points in it, so a nice solid, any treble 20, whether it's an 85 or an 81, will sort of get you in front.
Peter can whack himself just one treble here, which he's done. If he can whack himself 2 trebles here, which he's done, can we fill the bed?
180.
Superb darts from Peter.
I thought I'd let you have that glory, Tom. First 180 on the live Arsenal stream.
And what a lead he has now, and he could finish it in this next visit with a treble 20 of his first dart.
I think
Or
Peter
even-
should change his nickname to the Timely Father.
Before that visit, I was actually going to suggest he goes for treble 19 with the regularity as he was hitting that at the end of the last leg.
81.
319, quite a way back is Halle. By the way, is the last 16 game. We've got 2 of these. Next up, after this one, we'll have the last 16 game. We'll have a quarter-final, 2 semis, and a final.
So, Robbie, Peter wants tops to complete a 3-2 victory.
And he's got many darts at it, so let's see how it's going to go. And he only needs 2, is a left-hander, double 10, just like James Wade does it. And Peter Rudrick Goodmanson is through to the quarter-final. Decent display by Halle. Halle played some nice stuff, evened it up, got 2-all, but it just frittered out in the last leg. Didn't pay particularly badly in the last leg, but that 180 from Peter, unstoppable.
Yeah, that was certainly the deciding factor in that deciding leg. If I'm right as well, he hit double 10 in all 3 of the winning legs, didn't he, Robbie?
That's a question. We'll be able to tell you. Using Dart Connectivity. Peter through the only 1080 of the game, the only score higher than 99, I think. It looks like. Sure about it. I don't know what I'm watching, to be honest. So Peter scored a 140, he scored a 100. A couple of 95s, so he played some, pretty decent stuff. Would maybe like to improve concentration around the treble area, but not bad. Oh, I was quite impressed. And not a bad way to watch your first match, is it, Tom?
It wasn't a bad start. It was the first leg was a bit sloppy with the doubles. They both missed a lot of darts in the opening leg, but it really did hot up when he took the 2-0 lead. Peter took the 2-0 lead, and then Halle produced some great darts to pull it back to 2-2. And then he showed his class in the end, Peter, with that 180 to lead the 1-2-1, sort of seeing him through. The reliable double 10 which he hit in all three of his legs too. Sorry, I think he went inside on one of the legs, didn't he?
I think you're right. I think he hit fives in one of them, but the other
Yeah.
two tens.
It wasn't a bad way to open up the evening.
Well, up next we have Charua and Hawkson, both of which we've seen on the stream before, but Charua Vita is the more regular of the two, played live Darts Iceland pretty much every week, and here he is now. And there's one aspect about him, just facially, that really gets the crowd talking. I'm sure Tom's going to remind you.
Yeah, he's got one of the most famous moustaches in Scandinavian darts. I did have a comment earlier on that he looks like Charles Bronson. Like. But he certainly has got a nice action, nice steady throw. He's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament. Yes, we do have four boards in action, Robbie. 3 outside boards in this streaming board number 3.
We do. And Vitor and Hawkson is another last 16, so the winner of this will sail through to the quarters.
Yes, we are the best of 5 legs in format up until the final, Robbie, and then we'll go up to best of 7 legs. We do have a Scotland shirt present on the stream.
I must have missed that, because I remember Alex Duasson. He was wearing a Scotland shirt when I saw him. There was a tournament in Scotland a few years ago, which a couple of the Icelanders played. And I believe this is the one where Ingibjörg plays, the lady player, and that's how she got the nickname Angry Bird, because some of the English fans refer to her as Angry Bird. They couldn't pronounce her name. Not a bad way to get a nickname.
And Vitor Charua hails from Portugal, if I'm correct.
Absolutely are. Name the Grenade. That's some lovely flights. Always playing it.
Now, if I'm right, we are just about to pull up for this one.
The man you're looking at now is Guðjón Hawkson. We've seen him before, multiple Icelandic champion. He's got the Nordic Cup gold medal. Not many people can say that. The Guðjón cat.
Well, there's nothing wrong with his doubles at the minute. It's the 25. Can Charua do here? 25. Also the 25. We'll throw again.
I'll check.
Just outside there.
Vitor, stop. Game.
Nice treble 20 to start things off. Got a nice solid throw here, Chirua.
100.
A nice ton to kick off this second game. Option straight into treble 20. Oh, this is a brilliant visit.
140.
Lovely.
Superb reply.
Couple of trebles. Hawkson's got a an action that reminds me of someone. Do you want to guess who?
Not off the top of my head, no.
100.
Can't remember his name. It was the Russian guy with the beard.
Oh, and yeah. Oreshkin, Alexander Oreshkin, I think.
Alexander Oreshkin. A little bit of a prettier action has Gujon. He's got, you know, it's a little bit nicer.
81.
Yeah, it's sort of a wavy hand action before release. But what a start we have here, Robbie. 100 average plays, 111. Not a bad start from both players.
And whilst things are getting excited, I'm going to hand over to our other commentator, Christopher Bickstrand. He's coming from right from Sweden. Christopher, Tom, away you go.
Thanks for joining us, Christopher.
$38.
Yeah, I can do a Swedish accent if you want. Carry on. What a start. I usually find good things when I'm commentating. There we go.
Oh, that's superb. Brilliant.
A couple of trebles in there. How about that? I noticed that Matty's hit 2 167 finishes, both of which when I wasn't commentating, so you'll never know.
It's been a great start though, Robbie, to this first leg. Scoring especially. Look at that, 2 trebles again.
I know we've had numerous treble visits. Isn't it been fantastic? 110. This isn't impossible by any stretch of the imagination. Treble 18 is more popular these days. And double 18.
Game show first leg.
Superb stuff.
Eight,
Vitor Charua.
That is one of the best legs I've seen in Live Darts Iceland, and it's one of the first legs you've commentated on in Live Darts Iceland. So maybe you are our lucky charm today.
A 15 dart leg with that as well.
No, like that on the big stage, you will win legs. You might not win every single leg, but you will win legs. So that's how it's done. An average of 100. And he's again.
Straight there again, with lipstick.
137.
He's playing quite beautifully, Vitor Charua, in this opening period of the match.
$134.
Superb. 134 to keep in touch.
I almost don't want Christopher to join now. I'm enjoying this too much. Great quality.
I think both players are pushing each other as well, that's the thing. They're both hammering that treble 20 and the treble 19.
95.
Superb again. We have a 180.
175.
Oh, commentator's curse. Again, he could have a 99 here to leave the 170. Treble 20 would do that.
44.
Just drags it into the 5.
$140.
Another 2 treble visit to leave 59. The standard is remarkable in this one.
It's like we're watching something on a big stage, not in a little dart in Keflavik.
55.
He does leave the big fish. 59 to level up this contest.
Oh. Well, I've dreamed of the day I've been able to commentate on one of these, so I'm going to leave it all down to you.
Shura then needs 170 to double his advantage. Can he do it? Just under. Very unlucky with that one. Just begging for more with that visit. Hawkson now wants double 10 to level this contest.
For the left-handers, it's doable. And
that was James Wade-esque, wasn't it, Robbie?
absolutely.
Can I get the 134? 98 score. Just wait for our scoreboard to refresh. 83 scored there.
Scoreboards are back, and I believe my Swedish buddy Christopher's back. Hello, Christopher.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Christopher.
How's everyone doing?
We're enjoying some top quality tungsten, especially in this game, Christopher. What a start from both players.
Yeah, we saw in the first leg, Vito did a 15 darter, then Gudrun missed 14 darter, did a 16 darter, so the standard of the start of this game is fabulous, and unfortunately for us, we're only going to see maximum 5 legs.
Yeah, we're saying at the top of the show about the standard with the Icelandic darts increasing all the time. This is the perfect advert for that.
Yeah, I can only agree. I mean, first time I saw some Icelandic players played was 2012. I was in Turkish Open. It was Putney. They was in the first game, and Einar Möller. I don't know if he's in this tournament tonight, but I play against them, and how they play now 6 years later is huge difference. They increased the game, increased the standard. We said top players here increased the standards in like a couple of months.
I think the more these players continue to push each other as well, the more the average is going to rise and the more 14, 15 dart legs we're going to see.
Yeah, yes, of course. I mean, the good thing they do here, they practice against each other. And that's one thing I don't understand. We don't do it in Sweden.
100.
That our top players, for example, I heard you talk about them earlier, like Magnus Carries, Daniel Larsson, Dennis Nilsson, and so on. They don't have sparring partners. I mean, for example, Gary Anderson played with Michael Smith, Phil Taylor played with Lewis. If you play against top players, you're going to increase your game. And that's what they do in Iceland right now. They play against the top players, even when they practice, and that's going to increase their game at the same time.
Yeah, that was a great visit there from Vitor Trua, fired in a 1-3-4 till 57. He now has a chance to move 2-1 in front. Superb finishing, absolutely superb from Vitor there.
And that, I would say, that's the main reason why Vitor are, I would say right now, the #1 in Iceland. His doubles, we have seen during many months, and Robbie can totally agree on that. It's when he plays on his top level, he can't miss doubles. If you have 2 and 3 darts in his hand, he's gonna bang it out 9 times of 10, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we see some players that don't even practice doubles, and we see players that are red hot on them. I've seen even the practice starts he was throwing, he was straight in the doubles he was going for all the time, and he took his chances well. And you might not always score as good as your opponent, but if you're practicing doubles and you're very good in your doubles, then you're going to have a better chance than your opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I had 2 players. Stephen Bunting, he's only practice on his points, because then he's scoring good. Have an advantage when it comes to the doubles because he maybe have 2 and 3 darts extra. And Sam Whitlock only practices doubles.
Yeah, I've seen an interview with Joe Cullen as well during the World Match Play, and he said he just practiced his scoring because his theory is that he's got
180.
a 180 there, interrupting me from Vitor Tirua as he continues his brilliant form on the scoring here, Christopher. It's been brilliant so far.
Yeah, I mean, if he continue like this, he's gonna have an average of over 90
80.
after this game at least. He's currently on 89, and if he score like 92, something like that here at least, he's gonna increase it even more. So I would say after this leg, he would have over 90 in average.
Yeah, I think in this form, he's definitely a player to tip for taking this tournament because he's been so consistent. He's scoring, he's finishing, he's peppering that treble 20 constantly.
Yeah, and that's what it's we have seen this a lot earlier with Vita. He can bang the points, he can bang the doubles, and of course when you say like the great Bobby George said, trebles for show, doubles for dough. But the thing is, Vito, he do both.
And Christopher, can we see this 164 goal? No, it's just below the treble 20. He has got time on his side though, with his opponent 275.
The thing is, 164 is the highest checkout we have had on our live stream. It happened twice, and both of them were when Robbie was away.
Shut up.
So when he's not here, it can be a high checkout. Now he's here, so maybe the highest checkout we see today is like 96.
This is definitely one of the best games on the Icelandic dart stream I've seen. Look at that, treble 16 for double 8. It's to complete a 3-1 win. Can he pin the double 8?
48.
No, just outside. He will come back though, as Hawkson is back on 215.
Yeah, he missed a 14 dart for the match. And right now, Vito play amazing.
Could increase his average to 90 if he sees off this double 8.
For a 16 dart and 2-1 win. Double 4.
Game shot.
Yeah,
And
so
the
let's
match.
see the average.
Delightful stuff from Vitor Tirua there, Christopher. A 3-1 win.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant display. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
18 in average, 29 per dart. That's a very good average.
I think that has to be up there with probably one of the best games I've seen on these the Icelandic dart stream.
So Tom, which is the best game you have ever seen live? Not on television. I mean, you were there in the area to see the game.
That's a tough one. I looked to be at the match play this past week.
Okay.
And I think the Gary Anderson Joe Cullen was a hell of a game.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
a
great.
long format, best of 31 legs. Cullen fired a 170 finish to go. I think it was something like 10-9 up.
Yeah.
And then Anderson, obviously at the 9 darter, then the 141 finish following it, which was amazing. But it's not just that. Cullen sort of, even though Anderson was firing those massive scores and them big finishes, he was sticking in there after 20 legs. He was still in with a shot. He did miss 2 darts to beat Anderson, and it very nearly went to a sudden death leg. And it was definitely up there with one of the best matches I've seen live.
But you saw it live, so I just wondered, do you know what happened when Joe Cullen misses 2 darts?
He sort of, it's difficult because Gary Anderson he missed the 2 darts, and you don't want to do that when Gary Anderson, you can't really gift him another chance. And
No, of course.
I think even he did miss 3 darts at top side to take it to a sudden death leg as well. And
Yeah.
Gary Anderson is Mr. Composure. He doesn't panic at any moment in a match. I think through the entire tournament he was behind in every single match.
Yeah.
So at the Stephen Bunting game, Stephen Bunting was in front of him. He didn't panic. He took his time for it. If I can get a few sub-15 dart legs in there, I can get back in this match, and he did well. And world match play champion for the first time in his career.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've been like in the quarters twice, something like that. You've been through the top 16 twice. So that's not his best tournament.
But I think, one of the players of the tournament, I have to mention him, Jeffrey Desvani. He was definitely the shocks as not necessarily a shock, because he knows he can beat the world's best. He's already beaten Michael van Gerwen before last week, because he beat him in the UK Open, so he knew he could do it, and he's Dutch, so he must have played him at some point in his life before that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he was ranked 68 before the tournament. He was the lowest ranked player, and of course he played Michael in the first round, ranked number 1 in the world, favorite to every tournament he played, and he beat him. And the game after, he played Adrian Lewis and crushed him. And then Chisnell, I mean, you take out 3 top 10 players in the world like it was nothing.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing was his temperament as well. The way he went, he wasn't overawed by the occasion when he beat Michael van Gerwen. He was sort of like, yes, I deserve to win. I knew I was going to win before I played him, sort of attitude. That he's very calm, very laid back. I mean, look at the finish he took out against Adrian Lewis. We're at 92, we're at double 18, double tops.
That was crazy. So he played great in this tournament, so hopefully we can see him later on. He's only 22 years old. I think he's turning 23 this year. So he's many years to go. So hopefully we'll see him in the next big tournament, like you talked about earlier, when we now have a bigger tournament in the PDC World Championship of the 96 players instead of like what had been earlier, 40 something. Then we're going to see players like that. And yes, Robbie, I'm glad that Paul Nicholson will be qualified next year for the World Championship, I hope. So that's also a good thing. And hopefully in a couple of years we can see players from Iceland, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway be there also and play the World Championship.
Yeah, I'm surprised in the years to come. I think it could be an idea even to have like a Scandinavian Cup style tournament with all the nations playing in that, because the standard is rising from all the Scandinavian countries.
We have that cups already. We call the PDC Nordic and Baltic tournaments. It's 5 weekends every year, 2 tournaments, so 10 tournaments in total. The top 2 players of the Order of Merit will play the PDC World Championship.
Yeah, and I think that Darius Labanauskas and Madars Rasmus are really playing very well on that tour as well.
Actually, right now, top 2 are Darius and Daniel Larsson from Sweden.
He's a very good player, very, very strong player, Larsson.
That is a very good player. Unfortunately for him, because we in Sweden know how good it is, how talented it is. The problem I see with him is that when he plays on stage, he starts to buckle a little bit. Not always, but sometimes. Of course, we have seen him play against Justin Pipe and beat him 6-0. So, of course, we know he can do it, but it's very tough.
Yeah, I do think Dennis Nielsen's a very strong player as well.
Unfortunately for him, he hasn't played good on this PDC Nordic Baltic. He's ranked currently number 13. So, but Dennis has played very good on the Challenger Tour. He's ranked number 2 right now. So if he keeps that place, we're going to have a tour card.
Yeah, in this next match, we're going to welcome Robbie back when he's if he's ready to go.
I'm always ready to go, Tom.
Even in the background.
Great commentary on that last game. Of course, it had to be a good game. It had to be one that I wasn't commentating on. The recurring thought that was going around in my mind, Christopher, is that was a game that wouldn't be out of place on a big stage or a Pro Tour or a Euro.
No doubt about it. I mean, if you have an average of 90, you can play against, maybe, of course, if you can't compare him to like Michael, Gary, Michael Smith, and those kind of players, but like a regular European tournament, he could win with that average, no doubt.
And we've got it on tape that I said before the tournament started, I think I'm going with Vito.
Yeah. Yeah, Vito is always one of the favorites to win a tournament in Iceland. And hopefully, me and Robbie will go to Iceland in the beginning of October.
Yes, I've got annual leave books for the general time. I think the tournament starts on the 3rd. I'm hoping I can be there on the 3rd. But
Yeah, same here.
let's discuss it, shall we, after the darts?
Kasta. Throw again.
I like to see it. They don't do the PDC middle. They go for the bullseye, even both are outside. They will do it all over again.
That's being left in.
Thruster on the board. Thruster to throw first. Okay.
Here we go. Ingimarsson, Magnusdottir. Ingimarsson with that famous lean.
81.
And we have to say something about this also, because I've been in this venue and I can tell you something like that. I can promise you it's very warm in there right now. I don't know the weather. I don't know the weather on Iceland, but I know in Sweden we have like 40 degrees during the days. So, I mean, people say, oh, I'm going abroad on a vacation. Why do you go abroad? We have 40 degrees in this country. And when you play in that kind of weather, you can have slips. You can, I mean, when you're sweaty, you can drip in your eyes. So what we saw the last game, how Vito played, that was amazing, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Played nicely. Lovely time 40 from Throster just then.
125.
And continue with a 125 also. So, I mean, he had 155 after 9 darts. So, I mean, we saw Vito play a game that he had 88. Thruster, we continue like this. Damn, that would be good.
Wouldn't it just? 155. Treble 20, treble 19, double 19. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Reminds me a little bit when Gary Anderson hit back-to-back 141s, the first of which was on the magical 9 darter. That was in the World Match Play.
45.
Against Joe Cullen, who should have won it. Anyway, this is Iceland we're talking now. 20 for top to the Thruster. Well, that's a miss. Waste of dart there, 15. Just by the skin of his
Double 20 for 15 darter. I mean, he should do my route of 60. I played a double blind draw in Sweden like 1 year ago, and I was so tired, I was so exhausted. I had 60 left. I pushed it out as much as I can. Double 5.
13.
So I said to my partner, let's go for it. Bam, go for it.
Well, if it works for you,
I wouldn't recommend other ways to do it, but it worked.
well, that's okay then.
59.
You've told me many crazy things that you've done on the dartboard over the years. Too many that I can't even remember.
Yep. But, Robbie, we asked Tom, which is the best game you have seen live?
45.
I heard you ask that, and the thing that came to my mind straight away was the resurgence of Michael Van Gogh in Premier League final 2012.
Yeah?
When John Gwynn was so lost for words, he had 1-3-2 left for the title. Out to ball, treble 19, bullseye. And I was with a
Is
couple
that
of friends.
2012?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Is it 6 years ago? I don't say anything else, but okay.
No, hang on. It couldn't have been 12. No, you're right. It might have been 13.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but yes, not so long ago. And you saw that live?
I did. It was 2013. There we go. Against Voltaire in the final. I saw it live. It was remarkable.
You're lucky.
45.
Simon Whitlock hit a 9 darter in the first ever darts that I've ever seen live, which was the best moment of my life.
Awesome.
I think we've discussed it before. Best moment of my life.
Yeah.
29.
One off anyway.
Yeah. I would say the best game. I don't have the privilege like you have to see like well match play the Premier League finals at live, but I saw a Super League that's of a top division here in Sweden. Game between Magnus Carries and Edvin Torbjörnsson. Edvin is a former youth national team player, and he will play the Euro Cup for Sweden now. And Edvin, they play best of 7 legs. Edvin have an average of over 113.
Wow.
He lost 4-0.
Oi.
He had 1 dart at the double.
How?
Magnus had an average of like 100, almost 118.
Oh my God, so no one missed a dart.
Yeah, Edvin got 1 dart for double 18, had 34 point something, and Magnus had almost 36.
60.
That's crazy.
And they said to me before the game, do you want to mark this game? No, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. I regret that today.
Oh, you. I guess you've been paid back with the 167s from that.
24.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I mean, that we don't see that average in Swedish top leagues. You see it in England, but
Yeah.
to see a game with 34 and 35 in average of 2 players, that's
Crazy.
amazing.
Well, it's been a slow leg so far for both players. But that was a
120.
lovely visit. 2 big trebles there for Throster, which puts him, well, right in range. Ingi Björk, or Angry Bird, is going to need 90 actually there.
98.
Gets that with the last dart.
152. That's a fun checker. 134. We have a different route. Treble 20, treble 18, treble 19, treble 17. So many numbers you can start on. You go for 20. And now treble 18 to leave double 20, of course.
And that was a lovely last dart. So then, Ingi Björk, 2 at the treble 20.
Or you can do the Keegan Brown route. Treble 19, double 19.
40.
Yeah, that's not the worst idea ever. If you like treble 19, then why not?
Exactly. It's a double. For example, 158. Jeffrey de Graaf. Treble 18, treble 20, bullseye.
I think, hang on, let's check this goes in first. Double top, not far away.
No score.
No. Jamie Caven did that at the World Championship in 2000 and something.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember I was watching it whilst cooking, and I just looked away, and I heard the commentators go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, one crazy route we've seen. If you haven't seen this, search for
47.
Dennis Nilsson against Steve Beaton. I think the score is 4-3 to Dennis. And Steve have 110, Dennis have 90 left. Dennis go single 20, treble 10, double 20.
Double 10, double 5, difficult start.
So let's see, Ingeborg will have a chance. Hopefully for her, she will have 2 darts on the double 20 or maybe double 10 if go high. So
That was a
double
lovely
20.
single. I know you hit singles all the time, but if you're going to hit one, you're much better than that. And the doubles could not do her justice. So if his name is Gary Anderson, he goes 3 for double 1. Or if his name is anyone else, he'll go 1 for double 2.
Or if he's cocky, treble 1.
Yeah, on an exhibition, I'm sure you'd see one. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because he wins the leg. It is now 2 for nothing.
But Robbie, you remember James Hubbard?
Also remember James Hubbard,
Yeah.
2012 Premier League runner-up winner. Premier Youth World.
Exactly. When he played his first leg on TV, it was actually the Grand Slam of darts. He played against Phil Taylor in the first game. He had 5 left. Double 1, single 1, double 1.
What?
That's his first leg he ever took on TV.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah?
30.
How did I not know that?
So check out 5. Double, single, double.
Oh, obviously he didn't mean to hit the double with the first dart.
If he did, he's a genius.
I hope he didn't, because that'll be very scared.
I mean, we've seen some crazy checkouts, some crazy points. But the craziest dart I have ever seen,
134.
if you haven't seen it, search on YouTube. James Wilson bounce out. I guess you've seen this, Robbie. He's playing in the Euro team, a European tournament. He hit a bounce out.
13.
Dart rotated and laid in on top of the other darts with a flight. But the thing is, the flight point at the board. I mean, there's like, no, sorry, that was the difference about it. Hit a bounce out, the flight, the dart turning back, so we went to a Robin Hood.
Yeah, we've discussed that one before.
That's crazy.
Lovely treble.
Beautiful 100 there from Ingebjörg.
He's right in this leg. I'd say advantage thruster, but it has to take it out. Would like a ton here, minimum to stay straight. That's not a bad first start.
Treble 19, I guess now.
47.
Well, he knocked the 7 off.
Yep. But if Ingebjörg can hit a big treble here,
36.
and then she will, unfortunately for her, she hit a treble, unfortunately not a big one.
Yeah. So, 2 trebles really needed here. But one will do, owing to the fact that Ingebjörg is a little behind. 60. Not the end of the world, maybe a 180 with his next visit.
A beautiful setup that would be.
Not quite at the races today, is Ingebjörg. Throwing with conviction. The average, I'm sure, she'd like to see a couple more points on top of that.
And we have here from Robert Owen. He said that Thruster will have a bad back if he keeps leaning over the throw all the time. The thing is...
Who said that? Robert Owen?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Robert Owen.
I have to check if it's that Robert Owen. Actually, it's that Robert Owen.
Is it? Stack Attack?
It's Stack Attack. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Stack Attack.
Stack Attack, you're one of my favourite players.
I don't like him.
Oh, boo you then.
He ruined my bet on UK Open.
Sorry, carry on. Distracted.
Exactly. So, Robert, you owe me money. Joke aside, when you say that, Robert, I mean, I understand what you mean. I leaned forward a lot before. And, I mean, if you compare me to Michael van Gerwen, I lean much more. If you have seen Nigel Hayden, when he's leaning forward, that was me. And the funny part is when I was standing straight up, like Gary Anderson, for example, then my back was hurt. So I was leaning forward, no problem. But I was standing straight, then it hurt. Maybe it's the same thing for Thruster, you don't know. So let's see now, double 10 for that, for the match.
And there he is. Well, in the other game that I commentated with Guggenholtz, he hit double 10 in the exact same pinhole.
I think the double 10 is the Icelandic double.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, there's one way to find out.
I mean, if you see, in the first game, Peter, I think he checked out like 3 times. And we saw in this game, double 10.
There we have it.
And of course, people, if you're using YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. We'll be very happy. I mean, we're currently on 194, and that's almost the same number that's watching the stream right now. So please, go in on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. That would help us a lot, because it's easier for us to expose ourselves if we have some viewers on YouTube and here on Facebook and on Periscope. To be honest, I don't use Periscope, so I don't know what it is. But if you use it, more than welcome. If you can share it, if that's possible, please do it. and help us make this dream even bigger. And of course, if you have any questions, you have some advice to me, Tom, or Robbie, please don't give me the advice to speak better English. I know my accent is pretty different compared to me, Tom, and Robbie. And their logic is Tom and Robbie, they're from England, and I'm from Sweden. So that's not why my accent is not as perfect English as they are. So if you have any advices for us, or something we can do better for the stream, for the tournaments, for our commentator, please put it here in the chat. If you have any questions, put it in, and we will answer them as soon as we can also.
Absolutely, it's usually Christopher who has a look at the chat. And if there's any comments or anything you want to discuss?
Exactly. I mean, we have seen some funny part with this with stream. We have seen a lot of famous people watching the stream. I mean, for an example today, Robert Owen, the Stack Attack.
We had Kirk Bevins, I think.
Pardon?
I think we had Kirk Bevins.
Kirk Bevins, absolutely one of my favorites, because my dream is to be a caller, maybe not a dart player. And we have Stephen Bunting, Alan Norris,
Danny Noppert.
We have seen some couple of PDC players here, honestly, and BDO players. And so, I mean, you can see it in the chat also. We usually comment. So for me, I feel very privileged just to see the name in the chat. We have had, for example, a world record holder watching the stream. The youngest person ever do a 9-darter in a tournament and win the win mount. 12 years old. So Robbie, if you go to Iceland, when we go to Iceland, will you participate in a cup?
I don't know if I'll be eligible, sir.
Not in that cup, but maybe if they have like a Friday cup or something like that.
If they have a tournament which is not going to cost me anything, and it doesn't matter if I miss the ball, then yeah, absolutely.
It maybe will cost you like £5 or something to participate in the tournament.
Pay £5, but I don't want it to be streamed, because I don't want everyone to laugh.
You're gonna play, and I will do the call-up, and Tom will do the commentary.
Fine by me.
And now it's look like, at least the practice on this board, we're gonna see 2 new players for me. I haven't seen this before. I think the younger that's playing now, I'm not sure, but I think it's a youth player from Iceland.
Looks like it, doesn't it? It's going to find a bit of clarity as to who we've got playing.
Yeah, I think he's a youth player. I'm not sure to 100%, but I've seen him play in the youth cups when they have here on Iceland before. Robbie, I have a very, very important question for you. If your neighbor have a kid that screams a lot, is it okay to go out and like push it to the ground so it become quiet?
Say that again.
If you have a neighbor, you have a kid, and he screams a lot.
Yeah.
Is it okay to push that kid on the ground so he become quiet?
I don't know.
I think he gets the law, unfortunately. I'm joking. I will never punch a child unless it's my siblings. I will punch.
Have you got screaming neighbours?
Yeah, unfortunately. And we have the concert. We have the Euro Pride here in Stockholm right now. So they have the concerts and like all the speeches, and they're like living 5 minutes walk from me. So we have we hear the music right now.
Oh, lovely. Anyway, All right, well, we're going to have a little bit of a change up in commentary once again. Christopher, I'm going to leave you there. We're going to have
Yep.
Thomas now. Just to confirm, Valdi Bjarnason is the young guy. He's the one that's throwing now with the Arsenal shirt. He's youth player, as you suggested. He knows what
Yep.
he's doing. Been around for a while. The other of which, Vidarsson. I haven't got a first name for that one. Anyway, I'll leave you in the hands of Christopher Vikstrand and Tom Beresford.
Thank you, Robbie. A bit of youth here in this match, both two young players.
Yeah, like we said, I've seen this guy before. Vadi I've seen play in the Youth Cup on Iceland. The other guy, Mr. Vidarsson, I haven't played, so for me it's a new face, and it's always great to see new players play.
Yes, Bjarnason has got quite a strong throw, very fast.
We got the information, if my English is correct here. Valdi is from Iceland and Holland. So you have two nationalities, and last year he played in the Icelandic under 18 team, so he was playing the youth. So we have seen something that many Dutch players have in common with him. They play very fast, and let's see if he can leave double 18 as soon as he can.
Yeah, he's got a very strong action as well. It really forces the darts into the board, as you can see here. Leans in. He's getting a few darts on the wire as well.
And that's also a thing what I saw when you get the bounce out on the first day. I know he's young, but when you get the bounce out and then going back from the board like that, unfortunately for him, he has to go back to his focus. And if you guys continue, we see the top players, they don't lose what they're aiming for. If they have the sight on the treble, have a bounce out, they don't look away. They continue.
He's had a lot of darts on the floor as well in this leg. He's had at least 3 on the floor.
Yeah.
So the darts in there is inside the double 19. 38 score.
There's 74 left.
Treble 14 probably looking for here.
I can promise you he don't aim for treble 8.
Looking to put a dent in 195. Just 66 though. So 63. He could aim for the 13s here, ideally treble 13, he would lead double 12. 18 scored, so that's 45 remaining.
The 63 is a little tricky checkout, I would say. 13, 9, 17s.
Just above.
So let's see, 129, treble 19, treble 20, for the bullseye. Oh.
Great effort that was, Christopher.
Yeah, he gives a chance, that's the thing. I mean, if he hit like 3 single numbers, leave him like 72 or something like that, that wouldn't be as big pressure it is now.
Double 10 he wants, and it's in, 1-0.
And I said this before, this is the Icelandic double. Like you said, Tom, in the first game we saw Vitor hit it 3 times. No, Peter hit it 3 times. And we saw Vitor hit it. We saw in the last game they hit it, and now they hit it again.
Yeah, it seems to be the common double. It seems to be going low on the 20s and then straight into the double 10. Especially, it suits more the left-handed player as well. Like Peter was a left-hander. He was firing them into the double 10.
I mean, I feel sorry for Tossi. Tossi is a young guy. I mean, he played 1 leg and 3 darts, and they have 4 bounce outs.
Straight. Is that in treble 20? 75, 95 scored. Steady start. Yes, I think with Bjarnason, I think when he finds his range on the treble 20, I think it will give him confidence as well. It's, with a race to 3 legs is not really a lot of time.
Oh, exactly.
95. That's a better three darts there. Struggling with the scoring at the moment is Bjarnason, and downstairs there, 43. Wide off for this leg, Christopher, this second leg.
Yeah, of course, it's very important. I mean, when it's short format like best of 5, I mean, if you're 2-0 down, then it's very tough. Well, I mean, 1-1, 2-2, 3-2. So hopefully for Waddy, he will hit a big score here. He's 35 points ahead. Beautiful last one, leaving on 1-3-1 when he's coming back. And like the game has been here, I think he would have 6 stars, but you don't know.
95 though, it's the finish.
13.
Double 13 perhaps.
67. Oh, that's unlucky last one.
That's an unfortunate last one. Just slipped into the treble 2 there. 139. Can he do it? Not now.
And let's see now on 61 what Valdi will go for.
He could go probably 25 or he could go the 15.
I prefer the 15 route than the 25 because like Bobby George said, when you go for the 25 and then you actually aim for a miss. Because normally when you aim for the bullseye, you go for the bullseye. But of course Valdi, Dutch background, like we said, you try to league 36 if you can.
16. Well inside. So Bjarnason comes back to the board.
And bags it in. 1-1. Beautiful.
You did actually mention it earlier, Christopher, as well about his Dutch background, though he might need the double 18.
That's a Dutch double. And that was also a break back because Tossi hit break the first serve.
I think in this match as well, both players have sort of pushed each other along. Whether one of them scored good, the other player responded with another good score. When they're struggling to find a treble, they're both doing it. It's sort of a knock-on effect.
So getting Jones. Question is, what is this? Just practice game? No, they have a cup in Iceland today. I think it's almost like 16 starts or something like that. I think it's a spontaneous cup. I don't know if they play every Wednesday. But here we have a cup today, and this is one of the last 16s. And then we have 4 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, and of course the final. And this is best of 5 legs. In the next round is best of 7 legs, and then in the semi-finals, I don't know exactly how many legs they will play. But here is a format of 5 legs in this game in a Wednesday Cup on Iceland.
It's anybody's leg this as well, Christopher, because both players are near enough neck and neck.
Yeah, this is actually a coin toss. I mean, when you see when players does something, a friend of mine said before, he saw I was struggling. I go single 1, single 5, treble 1, treble 5. He was like, stop trying to aim too much for the treble. Start haunting it. Because when you do that, you get stressed, you get tensed, release, go for the 20, and eventually you will hit the treble. Because right
it only takes one treble 20 though, Christopher, to change the course of the leg, because both players are struggling to find the treble. So once a ton plus score goes in, that's will be change of the leg. He's found the treble 20 there.
I think it's
nice
2.
135 visit there. Superb stuff.
Beautiful. Leaving on 114. And let's see here if we start for 18 or 20 or even 19s. Treble 18 and now treble 20 for the Lehman Central. And we will see Tossi if we go for 20 or 19 or even 25.
45 remaining.
13
Can he do it?
5. Whoa, that's way off the board.
Oh dear. Should we see 13s here, 58 left. Tops.
Oh,
And it's there.
beautiful, beautiful.
Brilliant finishing.
And like we said in football game, top corner.
This is better. Nice ton to kick things off in this fourth leg. Can't quite capitalise on it. Who's up to the board there?
It's nervy darts from tossing. Stop with 100 and continue only with 21.
I think with a healthy lead advantage he's got in the leg, just steady 60s and sort of just keep the dart straight, sort of stay in the 20s, and then you can't go wrong really. Straight in there, 66 scored. A healthy advantage in this fourth leg.
And that's the thing I think for Valdi also, if I give him an advice, I mean, he has very good arm, very good extension of the arm, but the thing is he's rocking from side to side. If you saw it in the first 3 darts he's throwing his leg, he was leaning to the left, to the right, forward, so he will not find the consistency when you're rocking. I mean, I see one player that rocks back and forwards and he can hit, it's John Henderson, but that's one player.
He's very, very effective with it as well. It's all about timing with Henderson. I think the timing of his rocking, when he rocks forward, that's when he releases the dart, and it's a steady motion. It's all about rhythm as well.
Yeah. Bendik Stenberg, no, they don't have to do the calculation themselves. The caller, if you listen, I don't know if you have sound or the opportunity to use sound, but if you have it on, you can hear somebody's calling out the points, and at the scoreboard, they have Dart Connect, the same equipment they use in the PDC on the floor tournaments.
Can't take that. It's 108 now. It's 103 left, but he will return to the board after this visit.
85.
A nice setup.
Leaves him on 23 when it's come back. Sean Steven, Tossi Vidarsson, I actually don't know what kind of darts he used. I tried to look at them. Now he leaves double 3.
Well, that's a different lead for 23. Right at the bottom of the board.
17.
Bit of a nervy dart there. Could he have busted that with his opponent not being on a finish?
I would prefer to bust that. Instead of leaving double 3, go back and leave yourself on 23, because then you know you have a chance, because you know you're coming back. So
Could split. Could just go straight for it. It's in the big 3. And he's left with Madhouse, double 1.
let's see, will it be pressured? No,
Not
25 scored. So let's see, double 1.
No score.
So 1-3-4 for Bjarnason.
So 14.
60 left. Big fat 20 here.
Now it's pressure for Vidarsson on double 1. If you don't check it out, I think Valdi will check it out. 3 darts on double 20.
All the match. Ooh, and it's narrowly just sneaks
unlucky
into
last
the
one.
double 12 there.
Bendik Stenberg, yes, the bullseye, the red bullseye is 50 and the green bullseye is 25.
Go tops then.
Game shot.
And it's straight in, and that's a nice 3-1 victory there for Valde Bjarnason. What did you think of that one, Christopher?
Decent game, I think it was a nervy game for both of them. They tried to chase the troubles more and aim for them. But it was a good game for Bjarnason. He won, of course, 3-1. And if you look at the average, it was 17 per dart. But I would say they both have a higher average, but they missed doubles. And of course, Bjarnason, we see like 4 or 5 bounce outs in the first 2 legs.
Yeah, I don't think either player really got settled at 100% with the scoring. Sort of dragged each other along in parts of that, and then there was missed doubles from both. It could have been any scoreline really with the double opportunities.
It could be 3-0, 3-1, 3-2 to either way. But now we saw Valdi Bjarnason won with 3-1. So I will leave you for a little while, because now we're Robbie coming back to do this with Tom. So I'll see you in a bit.
Thank
That
you,
was good
Chris.
from Bjarnason, wasn't it, Tom?
Yes, it was, especially the finishing, Robbie. The double 18 straight away the first start, the tops there to win the match with the very first start. It was, in periods, it was sort of, like I said before, both players sort of dragging each other along in the scoring, but as soon as they started hitting the treble 20s, it was sort of infectious.
I mean, we mentioned numerous bounce outs at the beginning, but he sort of seemed to overcome that. I assume that's just a technical thing. He's not a very old man in the slightest, so I'm sure with time that he'll be able to alleviate that. But he certainly could be one to watch in future. Good action. I find that fast throwers get success. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but if you throw fast, I find there's a lot of time these days in this day and age for fast throwers. So. I'd consider certainly one to watch. Valdi Bjarnason is his name. He's part Dutch, part Icelandic. I'd like to hope he represents Iceland, but I can understand if he chose the Dutch. Yeah, certainly something to look for in the future.
Yeah, it was a slightly similar action to the Klassen, sort of leaning in and a very fast shoulder into the throw.
Yeah, the Klassen. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I do like Jelly. And up next we have a quarter-final. Throster Ingarsson, who we saw earlier, the one with the lean, throwing now, and he's playing Gardar Magnusson. Both very capable. Both obviously made it through here to the quarterfinals. And I think my prediction of Vita's going to win the whole thing, I think that's looking all right, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just took a 1-0 lead in his quarter-final match. And yeah, he's certainly been, especially in that first match that we watched, he was magnificent. He was absolutely flawless. His doubling and his scoring was phenomenal. But his opponent, fair play, he scored very, very heavily. Sometimes it takes you to, if there's such a good performance against you, it sort of inspires you to think I can't afford to miss, and it makes you play that bit better.
Yeah. That's indeed. We should see an interesting game here. I'm going with Ingi Marsson. Throster is his first name. We get the man in blue, Garda Magnusson.
This should be an interesting, closer encounter, Robbie.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's not so easy